What if I told you that money isn't what you think it is, and that the dollar bills in your wallet aren't wealth at all? It's actually debt. Okay, we see Federal Reserve note, and we don't realize that this is monopoly money that comes from the Federal Reserve. Okay, the bank of all banks. Okay, this is the forbidden truth about money, and once you see it, you'll never look at money or the system the same way again. Now, before we dive into this video, this is not legal advice. This is not financial advice. Remember to do your due diligence. Remember to just find the truth. Don't just trust what I say. Okay? Number 2, if you're brand new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're going to be diving into a topic that I haven't really spoke about on this channel. Okay? Well, I speak about it, but I haven't really made a dedicated video. So I'm going to be bringing both sides, the debt side and the income creation side. So I'm going to preface this and talk about the aspect of debt, but towards the end, I'm going to talk about the aspect of what I do and essentially how I take care of my debts. Okay, so make sure you guys are sticking around all the way to the end so that you could be able to get this game. Now, thank y'all for watching the video. Let's dive into another one. So the first thing I want to talk about is this dollar here. Okay, this dollar is not money. Okay, it's actually a debt instrument. Okay, it's an IOU. You dig me? So back in 1933, House Joint Resolution 192 was enacted that pretty much eliminated the gold standard. Okay, because the gold standard was eliminated, this essentially put us in a position to where they made it unlawful for someone to attempt to collect debt through gold. Okay, and then they made this statute 31 USC 5118 to pretty much like solidify it. It means a provision in or related to an obligation alleging to give the obligee a right to require a payment in gold or particular kind of coin or currency, or in the United States money measured in gold or particular coin or currency. It pretty much is related to anything in relation to that, but also at the same time, it breaks down that the public debt obligation means the domestic obligation of the United States. It is issued and guaranteed. Okay, so what does that mean? When you see something that is guaranteed, then that means that it is insured. So back to my point, there is no lawful money. It can only be discharged in credit. So this is why on this channel we talk a lot about private banking and debt discharge, and why we talk about credit, because this is one of the key points to this economic system. Okay, understanding how debt works, understanding how credit works is going to help you to be able to build wealth. Okay, because if you're not dealing with, if you understand the aspect of promissory notes, negotiable instruments, you understand how to communicate and negotiate with a debt collector, then you won't feel limited by debt. Okay, this means that the money in this system is literally an illusion. Okay, because if they're going to create a mirror liability to your loan, okay, and what I mean by that for the new people is if you get a $300,000 loan, they're going to create a mirror liability. Okay, they're going to book that $300,000 as an asset, turn that $300,000 when you sign that signature into an asset in their books, but then on the opposite side, they're going to create a negative liability on it, as if they just loaned you their money. But that's not the reality. They just literally typed this number in, said it was an asset, and then after that said it was a liability because that's what they want it to appear to be. But I want you to know that it's not no real gold or no real value that's truly being exchanged. Okay, United States is really the only place in the world where you can have nothing and essentially get funded hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, because that is the premise of the United States. That is what people come to the United States for, is because it's unique credit system. All right, now the banks profit because of your belief in their paper. Okay, and the belief in their paper equals them having the power. So anything that they say on their papers and documents that you believe, or anything that they say in relation to their paper and documents without actually doing your own research and doing your own forensic analysis, that is the power, because you'll believe whatever they say. So the reason why the banks have the power is because we believe the dollar to be the true value. All right, so we give our lives to that. So this is how the system keeps you trapped. Number one, you are chasing paper thinking that the paper is what's making you free, but it's not the paper that's going to make you free. Okay? It's the energy that you put behind it. Okay? If you are not expending so much energy to be able to get the paper or get the money, the dollar bill. And when I say paper, I'm talking about this. To get this piece of paper, it's the energy. Okay? It's not as valuable as we think it is in the aspect of us spending all of our time and resources to make money. Okay? This is why this conversation today is going to be super important, because I don't want you guys to expend your energy on just going to work to pay your bills, going to work to pay your debts, and that's the only reason why you go to work. Some of us are trapped because of debt. Okay? You're trained to think to work, get your paycheck, spend, borrow, and repeat. Okay? Debt is marketed as an opportunity. Mortgages, credit cards, student loans, but it's actually enslavement. Schools don't teach you about money. They teach you how to comply. They teach you how to take orders and instructions. Okay? The average person stays in a debtor's mode forever. Why? Because they're constantly getting in debt. They're constantly repeating the same cycle: work, paycheck, spend, borrow, repeat. But I'm here to really break that cycle. I'm here to really truly help you understand the creditor's perspective, and so you can get out of the debtor's perspective. I understand this system is the way it is because they have created this elaborate mechanism to make us think that we are forever indebted to them. But that's not the reality. The only reason this system even functions is because it relies on our labor, our belief, our trust in the system. Okay? So the way to get out the matrix on the debt side is understanding that debt isn't real. Understanding that you can use debt to your benefit, and understanding that the only reason that debt may not be to your benefit, and the only reason that debt does have you trapped, is simply for the simple fact that you don't know what is actually going on, and you have more emotions behind it. So let's just talk about the perspective of a creditor. Okay? A creditor understands money as contracts plus leverage. Okay? Because when it comes to debt, when it comes to credit, when it comes to money, when it comes to business, it's all contracts. Okay? One of my clients asked me and they say, well, why does the system not make sense? Well, some things we contract to don't make sense. Like, why would we contract to pay a loan that we created? You know what I mean? Like, why would we sign up for a loan and then after we pay a loan, or after we have why would we sign a bond that releases money to the person we're exchanging with just to pay them back the money that was already released to them? Why would we agree to something like that? You know what I mean? So when we bring this up in question, it's not really why am you bringing this up? This doesn't work. No, you have a right to ask these questions. Okay? And then the aspect of we contract to things unknowingly that may be to our detriment. Okay? But as a creditor, you understand contracts. You look at contracts differently. You are very strategic in what type of consumer credit transactions that you actually get into. You are strategic about the contracts that you get into. Okay? You understand that you're going to use these contracts to give yourself some leverage. Now let's talk about leverage. Money is also leverage, because right now, for the people that do work a 9 to 5, you are expending all of your time for money. Okay? So you have no leverage. Your time is what makes you money. But what happens when you aren't spending time to make money? You make no money. So understanding that the money also is used as a tool. Even when you look at modern money mechanics, you look at the definition of money, it says it's a tool to facilitate exchange, I believe. Okay? And you can use this tool to work for you. And some people will say invest in the stock market. That's one way. Invest in ETFs, right? Dividend stocks. You can invest in Roth IRAs and things of that nature. You can invest in marketing, advertisements. You can invest in, business cards. You can invest in your content. You can invest in a camera. That is also making your money work for you, as long as you invest in something that makes you money. Okay? So a creditor doesn't just understand money as something that is used to buy things. They understand they use it to be able to create more wealth and build more leverage so they can have more time freedom. Okay? They lend, they invest, and they create assets. They don't just work for a paycheck. Okay? On the lending part, not that they always just lend, but I'm talking about understanding your position, because under the Truth in Lending Act, it says that you are the creditor. So if I go to the Truth in Lending Act, the Truth in Lending Act, under 15 USC 1601, the Truth in Lending Act, if I go back one and I go to the definitions and rules of construction, it says that the term person means a natural person or an organization. The term credit means the right granted by a creditor to a debtor to defer payment of debts or to incur debt and defers payment. It says the term creditor only refers to a person who both regularly extends and whether in connection to loan sales, property, or otherwise consumer credit which is payable by agreement in more than 4 installments. Long story short, it says that refers to only a person that regularly extends in connection with loans. Okay? Now, it says the term person means a natural person or an organization. And then organization means a corporation. So when you think of Bank of America, they fall under this category. When you think of you fall under this category because you are a natural person. Okay? So it's affirmed in the Truth in Lending Act. It's also affirmed in the Modern Money Mechanics. Okay? So this is how you understand that you are a lender from a creditor's perspective. Okay? You get the credit, or you get these dollars, or you get this money, and you invest it in yourself. You invest it in those things that I just mentioned that's going to help you grow your money and grow your assets. Okay? And then create assets. Okay? You can invest in the stock market, appreciating assets in the stock market. You can invest in Roth IRAs. You can invest in all types of things, money market accounts, high yield savings accounts, real estate, if that's something that you want to do. Invest in yourself. Okay? That's the whole point. Okay? Making your money work instead of you always working for a paycheck. I talked to somebody that say, look, man, you know what I mean? Like, how my life, I asked them, how would your life look if, you had all the money? And they say, well, I feel like this every time I get my paycheck. I get my $4,000 paycheck, you know what I mean? And then after that, I'll be good for like the first week. Doing whatever I want, buying, not looking at the price tag. And then the next week hits and I'm down and I'm literally scraping by. We are done doing that cycle, okay? Because the real wealth game isn't about earning dollars. It's about controlling flows of credit and turning contracts into cash flow, okay? This is a contract, okay? Turning your consumer credit contracts into cash flow. When you get your credit, and this is for my people that are going down this path to discharge debt, to position their credit, like actually doing it to move forward in life, not just doing it to make up some mistakes, because that is one thing, but we do this to be able to move forward. So the person that says, you know what, I'm going to take my credit and I'm going to invest in a vending machine, or I'm going to invest in some real estate, or I'm going to invest in online store so I can be able to market my service. I'm going to invest in my website so I can now get clients to come to my page, get clients to book a call with me. I'm going to invest in my career. I'm going to go get maybe a certification in something, right? These are the things that put you in a perspective of a creditor and an investor. You don't always have to invest in real estate or invest in stocks to be an investor. Invest in the things that will make you money, okay? Now, you know exactly what's going to make you money. And I don't condone nothing, but you get what I'm saying. There's some of you guys that already run a business, serial entrepreneurs, and when you take $1,000 and you invest it in more product, you can double the price. You may spend $1,000 on the product. That product you're gonna make $2,000 to $3,000 off the product, because if you break it down, you dig what I'm saying? Like, you could get more, or if you're in the shoe industry, there are people who buy fake shoes all the time, get a bunch of shoes and then they resell them for retail. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to do none of this stuff, but these are some of the games that I've seen people play, right? They'll take their credit and they'll invest in something in an industry that they know they can make money in. They know they can flip the money, and then they grow and they compound it. They don't try to do quantum leaps. There's some people that take their credit, they first $30,000 in credit, invest into an Amazon store that is supposedly autopilot, and they find out they gotta work it and it don't work. Okay? So understand that you invest in things that will make you money. Invest in things that you know will make you money, or invest in some level of mentorship, invest in some level of coaching, right? Invest in information and education that will bring you closer to making money. That is also investing in yourself as well, because money, discharging debt is not the only way to discharge debt. You can use these discharge dollars to discharge your debt. Okay? So now we're shifting on this perspective of helping you understand that you can expend the same energy into making money too. Okay? So here's the missing piece. You may understand that you can discharge your debt, but now we run into the problem of, okay, now our debt is discharged. We are back at zero. How do I create more for myself? Unless you're a person that's going to live off the grid. If you're a person that's going to live off the grid, create your own hut, then this part isn't for you. But if you're a person who truly wants to experience life, understand that this modern era requires you to make money, then this part is for you. Okay? No matter what, you can discharge all the debt in the world, but you can't discharge when you need to go to the grocery store. I mean, yes, there are people who got the food stamp plug and a food stamp play, and I may figure that out. I may even do a video on that, right? But when the government shut down and your food stamps don't work, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? So you always want to position yourself to be self-sustainable, okay? Food stamps and government assistance is good for a period of time. And this is not something you want to take advantage of, because those people that are under these type of programs are controlled by the government the most. They're the ones who are affected by politics. They're the ones who are affected by changes in the government. They're the ones who are truly affected by the shutdown, not just the employees, but the people who use these government benefits. So it's important for you to become self-sustainable. It's important for you to understand that you're not just making money for materialistic things. It's survival, okay? And part of human survival is doing what it takes to survive, okay? And not only are you surviving, but it's also your duty to live this life. You dig what I'm saying? I remember some people, I'll ask them what their dream is, and they'll say, well, as long as I can pay my bills every month. But what type of life is that? Not saying that you should aspire to get materialistic things, but stop thinking that you don't deserve those things, or you're supposed to have a high moral compass and not want these things, okay? This is your life. This is your matrix. This is your simulation or perspective, whatever you want to call it. So you choose exactly how your life goes. If you want to drive a Bugatti, you drive a Bugatti because it is your life, okay? If you want to be able to live a simple life and live in a log cabin, you do that. But you don't want anything to limit you to be able to have the resources to live the life that you want, okay? This is why financial literacy and creating income is important. Because knowing consumer law will protect you against being exploited, against debt collector, but you still need offense. If you only discharge debt, you will never create cash flow, okay? Cash flow, having no cash flow is why you'll stay broke, okay? Real financial freedom is understanding the system and creating money outside of it so that you can be able to fuel your lifestyle, okay? Don't get on here and say, well, I don't want to do all the lavish things. Some of us may be older and say, you know what, I don't want these things. And yes, I enjoy life. Yes, I totally understand. I get that. Maybe using the money to make sure that you don't have any more debts. Okay, make sure you're not leaving behind any debts for your family. Making sure you are leaving something, legacy, to be able to help others, right, in your family. Learn something so that your family doesn't have to go through any financial struggles on their come up. We got this thing about passing things up, right? Of course, you want to take care of your mom, dad, you know what I mean, those people close to you, but everything that you're doing right now is not to impress the people that are already here. It's really to impress the people that come after you. This is why there are people like Floyd Mayweather, Logan Pauls of the world, where people say, well, they made enough money. Why do they keep fighting? Well, because if they're the ones that can make the money, why would they have anybody else in their family go through that if they can do that? If they're making hundreds of millions of dollars per fight, I'm going to do that until the wheels fall off. Because it's not, I've had everything, but if I can make it so that the next generation after me doesn't have to stress or worry about the things that I stressed about growing up, why wouldn't I do that? It's harmless. It's entertaining. Yes, it may be distracting some people, but it's their fault if they get distracted, okay? I don't care about what anybody else thinks. If $100 million is going in my business bank account, is growing my business and the family of my family, then I'm going to do it if I can, all right? So we're not doing this for anything materialistic. We're doing this to be able to position ourselves, not only to take care of ourselves and our family, but to truly leave a legacy and set the example for people that come after us, okay? We're trying to end the cycle of poverty, okay? Now, if you've gotten all the way to the end, thank y'all for watching the video. I want to go ahead and talk about how I do it, okay? How you guys are able to be here, have a conversation with me, communicate. I have products and services, whole operations. We're going to talk about real briefly how I went from being a 20-year-old, not knowing what I was going to do in life, working at Walmart, riding my bike to and from Walmart, figuring out how I'm going to be able to get out my father's basement. I remember, when someone introduced me to entrepreneurship, it was network marketing at the time. And, I've always watched YouTubers and things of that nature, but I never thought that, you could make real money or live financially free, without working a job, or being a ball player or something like that. And once I found out that there are people out here actually making some real money and not rappers or ball players, I went down the rabbit hole, okay? I started to develop myself. I started to become stronger in the things that I knew. I started to get coaching. I started to get around people that were doing the things that I was doing, that I wanted to do, living the lifestyle I wanted to live. And I seen a pattern of what they were doing. I've seen that they were truly focused on these key points that I'm about to talk about. And this right here positioned me to be where I'm at today. Okay. So let's talk about the real framework of how you can be able to change your lifestyle and your money today. Okay. Now you can use all of these together, or you can be able to break these up depending on where you're at in your business. Okay. Make sure you take some quick notes. All right. And if y'all want me to do more videos on this, make sure y'all drop it in the comment section down below. Now, here's the practical path. Number one, you may need to, sit down and truly brainstorm about how you're going to be able to carry these things out, because I'm not going to give you a particular industry or whatever the case may be where you should go. This is the best industry. But I will tell you, if you want to start a business and make some money, right, off of the things that you know how to do, follow this path. Number one, you can start a coaching business, okay? Sharing knowledge and guiding people through the results that you've already achieved. This can be something on a high ticket value, okay? These are things that can range anywhere between $1,000 to $20,000 to maybe even $50,000, depending on the things that you are sharing your knowledge about. Okay. Now, this particularly goes for the people who already have results, already are helping people. Maybe for my barbers out there, right? For my people who are, own a business and want to be able to help other people get into the field. You can even create and help people get certified in that field as well. Boom, that's a high ticket offer right there. Okay. This right here, all you need is what? A booking link. Okay. Infrastructure and operation setup, that's one thing, but I'm not here to really break down each and every how to do them properly. But creating a coaching business where you coach somebody from A to B, okay, like the business that I run, okay, I have a coaching and I have a financial literacy business, okay, so I coach you from getting to A to B, to start from zero and now position yourself to get to $100,000 in funding, or start from zero and get to 100,000 followers. You get what I'm saying? A to B. All right. Some of you guys may have smaller increments, but whatever the case may be, that value is what your offer could be. So if you can help someone make $10,000, technically your offer could be $10,000. If you can help somebody make $20,000 or $30,000, technically it can be $20,000 to $30,000. You get what I'm saying? There's that. Number two, consulting. All right. All consulting is solving people's problems, okay? Whether it's directly for business or individuals who need a level of strategy and execution, okay? Think of it like a therapist, A therapist is almost like a consultant, all right? Psychologists and things in that nature, but you can also consult people in business, consult people in, cleaning, their health, fitness, right? And these are things that are businesses you could probably start with less than $1,000. You digging what I'm saying? And I mean, start it. Like, setting up the structure and all of that, less than $1,000. You may need to get coaching of some sort so that you can structure it properly. But to get started, it doesn't really cost much. Okay? Another one of my favorites is creating digital products about your expertise. Because when you think of coaching and consulting, packaging whatever you coach and consult into assets that you can scale. Because I keep it a buck. The reason why I have a school community is because I can't be everywhere 1,000 times in one day. You get what I'm saying? I cannot talk to 100 people in one day. This is why I only take a couple of calls, and this is why my one-on-one calls do cost up there, because my time is valuable. Not for the simple fact that, people don't deserve the help or whatever the case may be, but, my time is also important. Okay? But if you build your value enough, now people will pay for your time, whether it's to communicate with them one-on-one, whether it's to understand how to be able to grow a business, whether it's to fix their credit, whether it's to discharge their debt. There's something that you can help someone with that can be packaged, okay, into an ebook, guide, course, whatever the case may be. And the reason why this is good, because it's something that is scalable, something that you can do one time and you can get recurring sales off of that over and over and over again. This is why so many people are creating digital products, because there's two different niches of people. There are people who do want to sit and maybe watch a YouTube video, whatever the case may be, maybe even speak to you one-on-one, maybe even join a community. But then there's other people who just want a course. They can't watch it now, they want to be able to watch it later. Some people want an ebook, they don't want to be able to watch something, they want to be able to read something, right? So there's many different niches and many different places that you can actually help people. And this can truly be implemented to any type of business. You can be a chef, you can create a cookbook. You can be a real estate professional. You can create a ebook about real estate, or you can create a course about getting into real estate, or you can help people pass the real estate exam. You know what I mean? Create study guides for it, right? We could talk about people in stocks, or we could talk about people in sports betting. You can create communities around that, right? These are things that you can build one time, but you can get recurring sales over and over and over again off of these products that you created by hand. Now, people try to give flack to these industries, but these are industries that are literally multi-billion-dollar industries, okay? Industries that a lot of people can get into. Okay, now getting into it is one thing, but sustaining it is another thing. We're going to talk about that. The next thing is generating leads using social media. Okay, if you understand that you can post short form content to long form content, have a call to action towards the end of the video, and essentially you can funnel people from your videos, short form or long form, to whatever your products or services are. So if you have a free guide, if you are a consultant, if you are a coach, fitness, or whatever the case may be, and somebody needs to book a call, maybe in your video at the end, you tell them to book a call. Maybe in the video at the end, you tell them to check out your free guide. You dig what I'm saying? Maybe you tell them to check out your digital ebook, right? I put together a 7-step product, and now you guys can check it out. You know what I mean? This is how you turn your presence into profit, okay? Now, all these things that I mentioned, they don't cost much to get started, especially when we talk about social media. All you need to do is post content that's completely free. You dig what I'm saying? Every post, every video, and every piece of content is either going to build a brand, bring awareness to you, or move someone closer to buying. So this is how I play the game differently. I don't just fight the system, I build my own economy, okay? So, coaching, consulting, digital products, using social media to generate leads into your business. Book calls, check out your website, all right? This is how I do it, all right? If you want me to make more videos on that, just let me know in the comment section down below. Now, here's the real forbidden truth. Money equals belief plus contracts plus the flow. This is what equals money, okay? Banks turned it into a debt slavery thing. but you can turn it into freedom. The key is combining lawful protection with financial creation in order to get ahead, okay? So don't just chase paper, understand it, overstand it, understand it. Protect yourself with the law and create income with your own skills and create your own platform, okay? So that you are in control, so that you are taking charge, okay? Everything that you do at your job, you can do for yourself. You dig what I'm saying? If you send emails at your job, you can send emails for your business. You can do copywriting for your business. You can sell copywriting. You dig what I'm saying? If you create presentations and pitch decks, something else that you can offer to businesses. There are businesses that need that. You get what I'm saying? If you're a video editor, there are people out there like me that need video editors. Now, y'all video editors don't hit me in the email saying, hey man, let me do video editing. Y'all charge a crazy price. Like, and then y'all take forever to edit and upload my video. So nah, you dig what I'm saying? If I work with somebody, I need somebody to make my video that day. I mean, I want reasonable prices. But you get what I'm saying? You know, if you're an editor, don't come to me because I will lowball you. You get what I'm saying? Because I literally edit all my videos myself and have success editing the videos myself. Obviously, they can be better, but I'm okay with taking the time. All right. Another thing I want to cover. Creating income doesn't have to be stressful. Have fun with it. All right. I have fun creating YouTube videos. Some days I don't feel like doing it. Some days I do. Okay. But I have fun. You get what I'm saying? This is what I've always dreamed of doing. I'm sure a lot of you watch my videos and don't just want to watch it, but may even see yourself in my shoes. Okay. Maybe it's not consumer law. Maybe it is something else. Maybe you're talking about baking cookies. Whatever the case may be, if you bring consistency with a true understanding of creating an offer and you develop a brand around it, you can become financially free and you won't have to worry about debt. You can be closer to the debt free on top of the consumer law protection. So thank you for watching the video. Down below, I have an application where you can go ahead and book one-on-one to be able to speak with me or my team about working with me one-on-one, specifically on these topics that I talk about on my channel. Okay, go ahead and book that one-on-one call, but only for serious people. Okay, this is a premium coaching experience where I will pretty much help you with everything that I just talked about today. So only book that if you are serious. Number 2, if that is too much and you just want to be able to learn at your own pace, tap into the school community. The school community has all of my courses uploaded on there, from credit to funding to consumer law to debt discharge to creating income online. Okay, tap into the school community. You can get in there for 7 days for free, and then it's $27 a month. Okay, after that, that's pretty much all I got. Check me out on Instagram and Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. Thank y'all for watching the video. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. This video is sponsored by the Fund Yourself Academy. My step-by-step system designed to help you fix your credit, get funding, and build real financial freedom from scratch. If you're tired of feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or just ready to stop living paycheck to paycheck, this is where it changes. Inside the Academy, I break down everything from consumer law secrets that they don't teach in school to how to remove negative items and boost your score, get access to business funding, and start building multiple income streams online. Whether you're just starting out or ready to level up your game and get the bag, this is your playbook. We've got tools, templates, dispute letters, mentorship calls, private community access, and an exact roadmap I use to leave my 9-to-5 and create time freedom. But only for a limited time, you can get access to the Fund Yourself Academy on a free trial basis for the next 7 days. And then after that, you pay less than $1 a day at $27 a month if you like it. No fluff, just facts and just freedom. Go to thefundyourselfacademy.com or hit the link in the description to join now, because nobody's coming to save you, but you can fund yourself.